What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike Pinsent. I'm a local realtor here in Calgary, and lately we have been seeing a lot of people moving to Calgary from other provinces throughout the country, and I thought it would be fun to make a video on some of the top reasons not to move to Calgary. Now, obviously, I live here. I've lived here for about 8 years. I think Calgary is an absolutely amazing city to live in, but just wanted to shed some light on some potential negatives or cons of living in Calgary to help you make a more informed decision on whether Calgary is the right city for you to live in or not. So with that said, let's get right into it. First reason not to move to Calgary is the weather. We definitely get some cold, long, and harsh winters here. We regularly see the temperatures go from -20 to -30, if not colder. So depending on what the weather is like where you're currently living, this can definitely be hard to adjust to for sure. Now, with that said, one of the nice things about Calgary is we do get Chinook winds. For those of you that don't know what that is, basically it's a warm wind that brings about rapid changes in weather. So you can go from -20 to +7 in a matter of hours. These definitely make the winters a little bit more bearable. Calgary's weather is also very unpredictable, so you never know what to expect, and some years are better, some years are worse. But to give you guys some context, this winter has actually been quite amazing. We normally see the first snowfall around September or October. I don't think we had any snow until about December this year, and we've only had a few cold spurts. For the most part, it's been super nice. As of now, it's February right now. There's barely any snow on the ground, and the temperature conditions have regularly been in the pluses. But if you are planning on moving here, you will definitely have to deal with some cold weather. Reason number 2 not to move to Calgary is if you are not an outdoorsy person. One of the biggest attractions of living here is being so close to the Rocky Mountains, where there is a ton of stuff to do, such as hiking, skiing and snowboarding, snowshoeing, ice climbing. If you're into outdoor activities, you will never run out of things to do here. But if you're somebody that does not really enjoy spending time outside, I don't think that you will quite enjoy Calgary as much as someone who does. But if you are somebody who doesn't enjoy the outdoors, my challenge to you would be to just pick something to at least try. Go for a hike, or try to go skiing or snowboarding. Just pick something and try it and see how you feel about it, because I think that there is a really good chance that if you actually give yourself the opportunity, you might end up liking it a lot more than you think. Third reason not to move to Calgary is the lack of nightlife. Now, Calgary definitely has a number of good clubs and bars, but depending on where it is you're currently living, I think there are many cities that offer a better nightlife compared to Calgary. I feel like Calgary residents enjoy breweries more than clubs, and that seems to be a more popular thing here. And there's definitely a number of really good breweries, so that potentially could be a substitute for you. But if you are looking for a city that has really good nightlife, and that's something that's incredibly important to you and a part of your decision-making process, then Calgary might not be the best fit. Fourth reason not to move to Calgary is there's no ocean here, and there are a number of lakes, but they tend to be located in communities that you either need to be a resident or a friend of a resident to access. Now, I've never personally lived anywhere where I had access to an ocean all the time, but anytime I travel, it's definitely something that I really appreciate. I love spending time on the water, and if there's one thing I wish Calgary had, hands down, it would be an ocean. So if you're currently living somewhere where you are living on an ocean or maybe a lake, I think that that will be a challenging thing to give up. Now, based on conversations that I've had with friends or clients that have moved from somewhere that has an ocean or a lake, I find that it's pretty common that they say having the Rocky Mountains is somewhat of a substitute for that. Of course, it's never gonna make up for the fact that there's no ocean, but just being able to take advantage of being in the Rocky Mountains will definitely be enjoyable as well. And the fifth reason not to move to Calgary is because it can be incredibly windy here. This can be a good thing because, like I said before, in the winter months, we get the Chinook winds, which actually warm things up and make the winter more bearable, but it can also be very windy in the summer months as well. I often find myself looking out the window and seeing how sunny and beautiful it looks, only to go outside to do something and it is incredibly freaking windy, which to me I find can be super annoying. And especially driving to the mountains, it can be super windy on the roads as well, to the point where you can literally feel your car swerving in the wind, which can be bad enough in the summertime, but in winter conditions when it's icy and there's a lot of snow out, it can feel incredibly sketchy driving there as well. So that's something that you'll definitely want to get used to. If you're not living in a city that has a lot of wind, you will get a lot of wind here. So those are my top 5 reasons not to move to Calgary in 2022. If you're okay with everything that I talked about, then I would highly recommend considering Calgary as your next place to live. Obviously, I'm a bit biased because I live here, but I do believe that Calgary is a really good place to live. I think there's a lot of opportunities here. There's a lot of fun stuff to do. It's a great place to raise a family. It's a safe city to live in. And I know a lot of you are moving from cities like Toronto and Vancouver. And when you compare it to those two, it's also a lot more affordable, which is why I think we are going to continue seeing more and more people relocating here, especially because COVID has resulted in a lot of people working from home and no longer required to be at an office. I think a lot of people are beginning to realize that it just doesn't really make sense to spend so much money on housing when you can go somewhere else and live a much better quality of life. And I know moving to a new city can be incredibly daunting and there are a lot of factors to consider. So as always, if you guys have any additional questions or if there is any more information I can provide to help you make your decision, all of my contact information is in the description below, so feel free to reach out. Also, if there is any videos or content that you guys would like me to make that you would find helpful, drop a comment below and I'm more than happy to start knocking out some more videos, whether that be about lifestyle in Calgary, or Calgary real estate, or anything along the lines of that. So hope you guys found this video helpful. See you on the next one.